that's us, your wistful and dreamy hosts, this week looking at Days of Heaven. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
Happy April Fool's
Oh, so it
Day.
is.
So, have you looked at your email recently?
Oh, is that what that is? Okay, I was wondering. I was like, what's this now? It's the chicken thing?
Yeah.
Backyard poultry? Okay, yeah.
No, no, there should be like 14 or something like they're all either in your I was like, what do you do for your podcast buddy who lives in another country for April Fool's Day? So I signed you up for as many chicken farming websites as I could find.
Okay. Only three of them made it through the spam filter. You'll be
Damn it.
disappointed to learn.
Oh
Uh,
man, I thought it was gonna be like 15 and I was like, ha.
no. Okay, that makes sense. All right, okay. I have. Please confirm your chicken keeping secret submission. Wow. Oh, that's a good one. I might keep that one actually. Okay. Um, amazing. I have you done any other April Fool's stuff? Like I because like I'm so terrible at like I'm so worried about hurting people's feelings. I
I
just don't
know.
do pranks, you know? And
Yeah,
like it's just
yeah.
a constant stressor to me. My friend who nearly always does one every year, I messaged him and I was like, what have you done today? And it's Cal, who you've met.
Yes.
So his
What's
prank
up, buddy?
was
We love
that,
you.
yes, we do. And his prank was that whenever his wife came down for breakfast, he had the children seated eating their breakfast with cans of Red Bull, in order for her to go, whoa. Why are you giving the children Red Bull? And
That's really good.
he sent a photograph of that. It was really good.
That's
Very
really
subtle.
sweet.
I like it.
Yeah. So we did like Mike, well, whatever. It's for us. Normally, they've got to rush to school, so we just kind of like preset everything the night before. So we went and got all of the paper towels and all the toilet paper rolls
Uh-huh.
from like the garage. We keep a lot because we're Americans and the pandemic could happen again. And then what would we do without toilet paper?
Sure.
I'm being facetious kind of. So it's like but so we built too many walls in front of the kids' doors, and then they opened the doors. They like couldn't get out unless they like rushed through like piles and piles of toilet paper and paper
Hmm.
towels. I put food coloring in the toilet. They don't know
Hmm.
this yet.
Okay, so there might be a
They're
scream any
they're
second.
toothbrushes. Yeah, this is going to be like a long delay. Toothbrushes are covered in salt.
Right.
I put a piece of black tape over the remote so they couldn't get it to work to watch their like
Nice.
morning cartoons. And I think that's what I've got so
You're not
far.
messing around. Wow, you're going
No,
for it. And
man.
you
Yeah,
and different like strands, like different seeds sown in different areas. So I like it.
yeah.
That's like a bombardment style Franken.
It's just and now they're just like what they're like all day they're going to be nervous.
Just keeping them on their toes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I know you have no interest in chicken farming, but boy did I chuckle. And I was like, Mike, and he's like, what? And I was like, guess what I did to Andy? I signed him up for all these chicken farming websites, and he's like, you're fucking weird. That's pretty fucking funny. And now
Yeah,
you have to unsubscribe to everything.
I was like, it did confuse me because I was like, wait, well, what's happened? Has my email got out? And I was like, I suppose people may have more access to it now that
Yeah.
we are doing a podcast together, but it was still kind of unusual. But I was too busy doing the editing for last week, and
You're
I was
like,
like,
it was
okay, I'll
actually working.
think about this later. Amazing.
Not me, not me. So feel free to steal that and redo it to
It's a nice
someone
idea.
else's and yeah, as your own. So yeah, that the crack is and to switch topics so easily, I've got the sads. I've got the
Mm-mm.
sadsies. So it's been like, I live in a sunny part of Southern California and we've had 3 days of no sun. I know, guys, that's nothing, but when you like move heaven and earth to move to a place like this. And I'm like, I guess the good thing is I can like pull weeds because like the ground gets so hard and dry that you can't actually like pull plants out of it. And like when it rains, then you can.
Yeah.
But like we had two sets of friends that visited from Portland where we moved from. And it was just like nice to have like real
Hmm.
friends around that know me and love me and like have known me since I was like in my, teens and young and dumb, like what they all have, like 14 to 19 years old.
Hmm.
So there's just, and like I loved it. We had a great time. And I
Good.
miss having I have like I'm so lucky and fortunate that I have such really, really good friends, except for Andy, obviously,
He's
but
the
like
worst.
I know, I hate him. That's not true. Even saying those words makes me want to cry. You're the best. But it's like all my good friends live all over the world. And
Yeah.
so it's like it's a bummer, but at the same time, you know, like I get to see you in a couple weeks
Yes.
and I'm excited about that. So if
Yeah.
anybody has recommendations, Andy and I are going to be in uh Oxford and
Hmm.
like I don't know how to say like around in and around Oxford. We're going to
Yeah, the
Stonehenge.
Oxford
But
area,
if
we are going to
yeah, if there's
Stonehenge.
like restaurants or like anything that you
Yeah.
know of that we would if y'all know us now that would be weird and it's like going to Canada. It's like you go into like a bar and their thing is like there's bras everywhere,
Sure,
right?
sure, 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 sure.
Or dollar bills and bras. And you're like, okay, this and sawdust. That's my favorite part in
I really
Canada.
like
But
Korea for that because Korea just had the
mm,
most insane shit. Like, I mean, they would
yep.
have there was one of those bars. Like the thing with Korea was like everything was on the floor of a skyscraper. So like on the sixth floor of a skyscraper was a one of those places where you could get fish to eat the dead skin off your feet. But it
Ooh,
was
love
like
those.
the whole floor was like set up as a river and the fish were like swimming through. It was all like and it was nuts. It was nuts. And I was like, this is this feels sketchy and problematic on a ground floor property, but like on a
You're like,
sixth floor property, it's like, this is asking for trouble.
eventually water will find its way down.
Hmm. Inevitably. So yeah,
But also I love the idea of like of those fish that eat your dead skin, like a lazy river of them, just kind of like floating
yeah,
around and
it
like
was nice.
eating skin. And
But
were
like,
you sorry, were
uh,
you sitting next to the river or were you in the river?
no, you were sitting like next to the river. Like as
Okay.
I recall, it was also kind of like a bar, so you could also get alcohol. It was just like a crazy combination,
That's like my dream. Okay, so if anyone has recommendations of weird things that we would love,
Yes.
just you can email us at movietestedtime@gmail.com
Yeah.
or send us a message on Facebook
So
or
keep
TikTok or
that in mind. Not that exact thing, but something also just, odd,
yeah.
please.
Yes.
Um, love it.
What about
Uh,
you? What's crack?
so nothing, so my car was getting fixed this weekend, the weekend passed, so it was quite quiet. But as a result, it was like, well, you know what? Let's get my friends to come to me. So like I got friends to come up and um we played some board games and things like that, which was really nice. So yeah, relatively quiet though. But it's just such a relief. I don't know. See cars. It's the constant stress of my life. It's a money pit that I hate and just makes me miserable and like stressed out.
When I
So
came
I'm
to visit you, you had car issues.
yeah,
Do you remember? You were
yeah,
just like, "What the fuck is that noise?" And we were like down in Bray, and we had to get you like back up
yeah.
to Carrickfergus, and it was like,
It was mustard. So
I
yeah, so
know.
yeah, so that was fun. So that's been nice. But I told Beth I'm looking forward to going away this weekend for like a 4-day board game session. So that's gonna be exciting and nice. Um, I also, since we last spoke, went to see They Will Kill You. The
Okay,
Okay, I'm
what is
going to try to
that?
get her name right. It's Sassy Bates. So she is the lady that's in. So basically, her name's spelled Zaziebeetz, I believe.
Which I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We were talking about Zed, the kids the other day, but they were like, "Why do they say blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "Because it's Zed. They say Zed instead of Z.
yeah.
I don't understand." So it's fine. It's fine. Our
I,
differences are what bring us joy and togetherness.
it's one of those things that I really kind of cracks me up in a way because like you'll say that and people will go, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, because sometimes I say Z because like I'm quite Americanized in terms of my the things I listen to and stuff like that. And
Nazis.
I'm like, "Do you mean like Z versus Z?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's Z." And I'm like, "Did you
She
understand
was in, oh, it was sorry,
that
Deadpool 2.
she was?"
She was the one that was like, I'm my superpower is luck. And he's like,
Yes.
that's not a superpower. And then by the end, like she was the only one alive.
Yeah, she rules. She did
God, that was a
Domino.
good
Yeah.
scene. She did. She was so fucking good. Okay, love
So
her. Love it.
so basically it was her and like an Evil Dead style action, you know, horror comedy type thing. Basically, she is this badass in this kind of like building, and she's kind of fighting her way through it to find her sister. And like, I mean, like on paper, that sounds freaking awesome, right? There was some great stuff in it, but it was just a wee bit lacking. I thought they could have done with a bit more substance to it. Like some of the fight, some of the scenes were great, some of the action scenes were great, but it just felt a little bit underdeveloped, I think, but it was still, hey, any time at the movies is a nice time at the movies,
It's
unless
true.
you're seeing the bride.
Right. Or maybe Super Mario Galaxy.
Or maybe Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, hey, let's face it, both of us are going to end up seeing Super Mario Galaxy, right?
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you
Well,
have
yeah.
have
I'm
you
gonna see
booked?
it on Saturday.
Since
I've
Saturday,
played the game a
wow.
little bit, so like, but I guess I want my like nostalgia from my like original NES. I want those jokes. And now I'm like, I don't understand, the characters. Although Donald Glover is playing Yoshi, and that makes me
Ooh.
excited. Yeah.
I I hate that Chris Pratt is the voice of Mario in those movies.
Me too. That's like I can't.
He's so blonde,
Yeah,
you
Jack
know?
Black takes up for where there's lacking in casting, I think,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's what he does. But I guess like Donald Glover was he was like, yeah, I read an article and they were like, it's such a great idea that they like went with someone to play Yoshi that like, is an unknown artist. And he was like, that made me so happy. And I was like, oh man.
That rocks.
So yeah. I did see Send Help finally.
Ooh,
Have you seen it?
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. And at first I was like, this is probably fine for the kids. And then it was like, no,
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 it was
no. Once you
hard off the
castrate
cliff.
somebody, it's like, okay. So I got them out of there before that happened.
Yeah.
Then Charles was like, I need to sleep on the floor in your room. And I was like, that's no, we had a cot set up in his sister's room anyway. So anyways, I loved it. I loved it.
Yes,
I
it was great.
love Rachel McAdams, like
Yes.
just fucking leaning into her
Oh,
character.
she rocks so hard. And it's just like the
I
way it
know.
devolves and it's just pure insanity by the end. It's really wonderful. Yeah, I love that
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
Okay. So Beth, do
Mm.
you have any what's occurring for us?
I do. So, our top fan occasionally puts together a quiz for you.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he said he does, but he said that you said he doesn't want any clues next time,
Yes,
though.
correct.
Okay. Okay. So I've got one, two, three, four of these for
Okay.
you to guess which movie these quotes are
Okay.
from.
I mean, like, I may
Ish.
want clues, but I
Ish.
want a chance to think about it first, and then I'll maybe ask for a clue. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Like I would get two of these. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay. First, I'm not saying it's killing me. They make me laugh so hard. Okay, get your shit together, Beth. Smack, smack.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not saying you get more conservative as you get older or anything, but Susan Lawrence's habit of advancing her career at Macmillan Toys by sleeping with her male colleagues culminated in her initiating a sexual relationship with an adult male with a mental age of only a 13-year-old, which was exploitative, if not criminal.
Oh, it's big.
Macmillan Toys. Yes, good, good. Yep,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, did you get that because you remembered
The
Susan
sexual
Lawrence character?
exploitation of a 13-year-old in an adult body. I
Okay,
was like,
okay.
okay, yeah, yeah.
For me, it was Macmillan Toys because I
Okay,
was like,
okay.
I want that job so bad. I want to play
Hmm.
with toys and be like a vice president. Okay, next. I'm not saying you get more conservative as you get older or anything, but my stated preference to drop a bomb on the compound of Abbottabad rather than conduct a special forces raid was largely sound.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't know if I know this one. I don't recognize the name. It's not aliens, right?
No, this is more like
Uh,
war.
Oh wait,
that we
is
were
it I don't know. I don't know. No, 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 sorry. Well, give me
okay.
a clue.
First, I'll say first word is zero.
Was it Zero Dark 30?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Smarty pants. I wouldn't even gotten that. I would like zero to hero. What? That doesn't even,
I
that's
don't
not even a
remember that film too
movie
well.
title.
That's yeah, that makes sense. Okay, okay.
Okay. I'm not saying you get more conservative as you get older or anything, but I really wish I'm gonna fuck this up, you guys. I'm so sorry. I meant to do the like, what is it when you write it out phonetically? The
Yeah.
hooked on phonics. Okay. Did you guys have hooked on phonics?
No, I'm aware of it, but I don't think we had that. No,
Did you have sweet pickles?
no.
Okay, it's all like how to help your child read a different way.
Okay,
Okay, anyways.
that's interesting.
Uh-huh. Okay. Sorry. I'm not saying you get more conservative as you get older or anything, but I really wish that Renaud de Chatillon had
Okay.
kept his army near water. And if you don't get this, it's my fault for
Oh,
poor
jeez.
pronunciation.
Um,
Renaud de Chatillon.
um, I don't know. I mean, with a name like that, I'm going to guess Napoleon.
Cooler, not close, but Kingdom.
Oh, Kingdom of Heaven.
Yes, good job. Okay, last one. I'm not saying. I'm so sorry. These are the best. Okay, I'm not. Stop it. Breathe. I'm not saying you get more conservative as you get older or anything, but a system of absolute monarchy where the sociopathic cousin of a previously benign monarch can legitimately seize power through a crude combat trial is vastly inferior to the post industrial standards of representative pluralist democracies and shouldn't be praised nor exalted to last forever.
Jeez.
This is a good one.
Is it like I
I'll say
think
this is in the comic book region. Do you want me to read it again?
yeah.
I'll do it without laughing. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not saying no, I can't. Oh, I'm not saying you get more. Maybe I'm just gonna get this tattooed on my body. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get more conservative as you get older or anything, but a system of absolute monarchy where the sociopathic cousin of a previously benign monarch can legitimately seize power through a crude combat trial is
Oh, okay, okay,
vastly.
okay.
What you got?
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah, I was like, I was that's right. I was thinking it was something like Robin Hood or something like that. That's the direction I was going in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
I got it. I
I
got it.
know. Combat trial. That's a
Hey,
good
look,
one
hey,
too.
look, hey, look. Traditions are important, okay?
It's true. It's true. Okay. So, I also have a clarification station.
Okay, let me.
So I missed a fact that like you would have appreciated very much, even though
Okay.
you've never seen the Fablemans.
Uh-huh.
Um, I got a heartbreaking. You didn't mention John Ford was
Uh-huh.
played by David Lynch
Oh,
in
yes. I
so.
think
Did you see the movie?
I have not. I need to. I really want to. I don't know. I remember like humming and hawing about it whenever it was like out in the cinema, and I really regret not seeing it now. So yeah.
Yeah. It could be a non-cinema. I mean, that's not true because like he does his own shot, Yeah, you fucked it up.
Like there's so few. I mean, like it's one of the things, I now, probably whenever I was trying to be like cooler and edgier in terms of my film preferences, would have been like not as keen in seeing Spielberg stuff, but like it's such a mistake. And I now like for every film that he puts out from now on, I will guarantee you I will be there. I will see that movie in the theater.
Yeah. I will say like he's an executive producer on so many things
Yes.
that it's like at some point you have to draw a line. But that one
Yeah.
that was like his it was just his childhood story where he told you and bared his soul about why he made movies
Yes.
and his parents' divorce. So like you didn't miss much.
Yeah, I know. I like everything. Like, I know so much about the movie as well. This is the thing. Like, I know so much about it. I know that, like Seth Rogen, cocked his dad, uh, things like that. So I have like so many elements of that film that I know about, but yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
I'll,
it's
I'll
okay. It's
rectify it
okay. Yeah, yeah. Or not,
or
all
not.
depends.
I mean, and both are
Steven
equally
Spielberg is
possible.
like, I was gonna come and hang out, you know? but no, I'm not. We were going to be at Stonehenge together, but you have
Shit.
not seen my you know,
It's
what do
magnum
they call
opus.
it? Thank you. I was like Magnus, Magnum, and then I started thinking about ice cream. Anyways,
Mm,
okay. Do you want to get into this?
absolutely. Um,
Okay.
so our movie this week is Days of Heaven. So our second in our Terrence Malick series, and actually his second movie chronologically.
Mhm. So, just quick uh, synopsis.
Hmm
So this takes place in 1916
hmm
in the Texas Panhandle. Do you guys know what a panhandle is?
I, I mean,
It's
like,
like the shape. It's like a land shape, and it looks like a pan
yes,
with a
yes,
handle.
yes.
So, farm country, I'll say. So Bill and Abby, a young couple who, to the outside world, pretend to be brother and sister, as you do, are living and
Yeah,
working in Chicago at the beginning of the century. They want to escape the poverty and hard labor of the city and travel south. Together with the girl Linda, who acts as a narrator in the movie, they find employment in a farm in the Texas Panhandle. When the harvest is over, the young, rich, and handsome farmer invites him to stay because he has fallen in love with Abby. When Bill and Abby discover that the farmer is seriously ill and has only about a year to live, they decide that Abby will accept his wedding proposal in order to make some benefit out of the situation. When the unexpected death fails to come, jealousy and impatience are slowly setting in, and accidents become inevitably, or sorry, an eventually,
In- inevitable.
eventually inevitable. Say that
Okay.
4 times. And then
Eventually inevitable.
inevitable.
Eventually inevitable. Eventually
Stop
inevitable.
it. You're
Eventually
like, I had no
inevitable.
problem with that. Oh, it's fine. So
There's
yeah,
plenty.
so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yep. So there's a lot there, and not at all, kind of.
Um, there is. It- okay. What? Why do you think they were pretending to be brother and sister? Like, what was the benefit of that? Because that was one of the
Um,
things I was trying to get my hands around.
yeah, so like if you were married or you were like, you know, clearly Richard Gere's character had I don't know if he had he had some issues.
Oh yeah.
But you couldn't get a job as easily.
Huh.
Or like I
Interesting.
remember like even in the my mom was pregnant with my sister, so this would have been like 70 in the 70s. And she had to hide her pregnancy when they were trying to get a mortgage for a house because if she's pregnant, then she can't work, right? They're
I
assuming.
see.
And so they weren't going to give her the so it was definitely like it's like that would be an issue because she could get
It,
pregnant probably and
it's
then not have
basically a
work.
calculation of if you're a single man, you're much more likely to stay here and keep working. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. That
yes,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yep, yep.
Um, yeah, I actually wrote down because in terms of Richard Gere has issues. I wrote are dumb, sexy leading men a Malick trademark? Not leading men, like are like dumb, sexy men, like kind of as core characters,
they're
a
not
Malick
even
trademark.
they're not even dumb. It's just like the significant choices that they make are
Yeah,
significant
they are.
choices. They're
They
not
are.
like, yeah. So uh that's a good question. I guess
So
we'll have to keep learning as we watch more of these
I guess
movies.
we'll find out. I mean, like, we'll certainly gonna find. I mean, yeah, I mean, like I feel like there's gonna be some dumb, sexy men in Thin Red Line and
Yes, yes,
Tree of Life as well, for sure.
yeah, yep.
Um,
One can only hope.
one can only hope. So this get this, guys, right? Like, it's gonna blow your mind. Week two, the person who directed this was Terrence Malick, right?
What?
Right? I know. Uh,
What?
so I hope everybody was seated there when I expressed that news. I should have said ahead of time, but I didn't. It's on me. Um, so I just been chatting a little bit about where Malik was at the time. Like, obviously, we're talking about him for like 4 different weeks here. So what's interesting with this film is obviously he got this off the back of Badlands being fairly successful, certainly for a small budget film, and he was able to get it made. He was able to get this film made under his full control by guaranteeing the budget. and taking personal responsibility for overages and things like that. So like it was basically that's why it's so singular a film, I think, in a lot of ways. Like we'll talk about this in detail as we go on here. Um, he wanted to shoot primarily in natural light. The vast majority of the film was shot in golden hour.
Yeah.
So which obviously made things more difficult. But the production itself was kind of rife with issues, and the actual final product, they spent 2 years editing this movie before they came up with a releasable film. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a long time to be editing a movie.
I can't. I mean, based on the different shots that he had, it's like, and this is part of the reason I love the movie. It's like, there's like they're just it's like they had a we call it soft shoe dancing where like
Uh-huh.
someone threw out a plywood 4x8 and they were just dancing on it.
That ruled.
This guy was dancing with a little girl and like it doesn't move the plot forward at all, but it's beautiful to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're in these wheat fields and you had all these gorgeous shots of animals just like living in the wheat
Mm-hmm.
and dealing with whatever was happening in nature and fire, and like they're cutting the wheat fields and you see all these like frightened pheasants and like peacocks everywhere and like skunks, and I just none of it moved the story forward, but it was so beautiful to look at. And I don't even know it was on the cutting room floor. I
This is
care.
yeah.
I
I think
care.
I'm sure there's some like I mean like there's just I think same with Badlands, like it is so achingly beautiful all the way through. Like some of the shots are just absolutely like most of the shots are absolutely staggering, and it really indulges in them and spends time with them in a way that I really love. I think that it's so interesting, because I don't know whether the folks listening at home know this, but like this is my first kind of this series has been my first exposure to Terrence Malick's movies, and it's so interesting seeing his influence on other movies that I love and other filmmakers that I love. Um, I
I
think
was
that
hoping you would have that response
absolutely,
and
yeah,
not
and
be like this is shit.
no, I mean like I think I have issues with it. Like I think
Hmm.
that it is, there is not a ton of plot. There's not a ton of character development. There's this sort of like lazy, sort of whimsical, sort of like flow to it that I kind of, I, I do love this because I feel like I do love elements of it, I should say, because I feel like a lot of films are in such a rush to get through the plot that
Yeah.
you really lose a lot of these sort of intimate moments. And I think based on these first two movies, and in this, I think especially even more so than Badlands, it's almost entirely these sort of like quieter, more intimate moments,
Yeah.
is what makes up the kind of bulk of the film.
Yeah. I I also like, so we watched Badlands and that had a female narrator
Uh-huh.
that and this had a female narrator who was a child.
Hmm.
And so I think part of the story development, right? Not you're not limited by, it's almost like it's the opposite. You get to hear her take on what she thinks hell is like, and like what everything's gonna burn and people are gonna be screaming and like all the stuff that's going on with her brother and his girlfriend slash sister. um and like just trying to figure out the rhythm of once they end up, like, she's married, they're living there, like the rhythm of having money and what that's like from her perspective. It was it was it was for me, that was like a perfect element of it.
Yeah,
And we'll
absolutely.
talk about the actress that played the little girl
Yes,
later.
he was wonderful, like, really, I mean, like, and so, sometimes whenever they put in people with, strong accents or things like that, it feels like it's a kind of cheap way to build kind of like, I suppose, atmosphere or like, I guess I kind of I'm gonna put this in like British sort of terms, like a working class kind of atmosphere,
Yeah.
like whereas this felt authentic in a quite a kind of earned way, I think. Um, so yeah, I thought that was great.
um so I'm going to give you an idea of who wrote this,
Uh-huh.
what it's based on. N- I don't know if you guys know the writer Terrence Malick, but
Mhm.
he wrote
What?
this. Yes, yes, he
Okay.
did. Terry.
Mhm.
So um it's really he gives so few interviews that it's hard to pull this information from my mind palace.
Mhm.
But so I'm gonna quote him because I can't tell it better than he can. He speaks like he's like writing um a screenplay kind of. So you said it was in Austin, Texas that I had the idea for Days of Heaven. I found myself alone for a summer in the town I'd left when I was a high school student. There were those green, undulating hills and the very beautiful Colorado River. The place inspired. It was inspiring. And there, the film came to me all together. Which, like, how? Why? Based on what? Like, that you don't just have these characters come out of your brain. Um, I had not liked working at the harvest time. I've made have very good memories of it, of wheat and the comings and the goings in the fields and all the people that I met. They were mostly petty criminals who were on their way to Phoenix, Arizona or Las Vegas for the rest of the year. As for the title, it is a feeling that a place exists that is within reach and where we will be safe. It is a place where a house will not rest on the sand, where you will not become crazier by fighting again and again against the impossible. And I was like, oh, Terrence,
Yeah.
this is so beautiful. So then I dug a little deeper, and apparently, because he won't tell you this, or he's sworn to secrecy. So, but he let something out to someone. So basically, the screenplay is loosely based on the Milady backstory featured in the Three Musketeers. So in the
Okay.
Dumas novel, Milady was originally born. Anne de Buell, sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, and became a thief with her lover, a priest, who had renounced his orders. On the run, they pretended to be brother and sister and hide in the village, and she ends up seducing and marrying for her own interests the local nobleman. So yeah, basically that's kind of where he found the motivations for the characters,
Interesting.
but in his own very clearly different way.
Because I think, it isn't, and it's, if I'm trying to think of other movies that have a similar sort of idea, but it is certainly something that, like a plot point, whereas it's like pretend to marry this person in order to, get their riches or to get access to something or whatever is such a like, uh, maybe common's the wrong word, but it's something like a plot point that I've seen in a lot of movies. Um, oh, and like, again, it's tough for me as well just to kind of know how big an influence this was on those sorts of things as well, those sorts of like concepts. Um, yeah. Um, okay. So the music, so was done by Ennio Morricone. That's right, isn't it? That's a good pronunciation of his name. And I'm sure
Please let us know
Italian,
if we're
yeah,
wrong.
Italian people can let us know. So
We know
who's
these names matter. It's just um
tough? I
we
like I
don't we
try.
don't yeah.
Like I tried to get
Phonetically.
Sassy Bates is name right, but this is I'm struggling with. Anyway, um, an absolute icon. I mean, like I say, there's some people who don't know who this is, but he is truly an iconic movie director, or not movie director, film composer. Who did work with westerns a lot. I think that's where the vast majority of his work came from initially,
Did
and
he do
then
the good, the bad, and the ugly?
he did. Like so much, like so many songs, so many of his pieces in particular, like stand the test in time and stand outside of the films that they were made for. And I think the Days of Heaven soundtrack is a really good example for that because like as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, oh, where did they take this from? And what they took it from is that he made it for this movie, and because it became so iconic, the core piece for this movie is so iconic that it just took a life of its own. It's just absolutely wonderful. Um, but yeah, I absolutely fantastic score, really beautiful, and I think the right level of something like that could be overwhelming and like kind of like flatten the rest of the picture, but it's just used kind of deployed really kind of effectively and is just absolutely fantastic. It was also the first time he got an Oscar nomination for this movie as well.
Is that the only one he's gotten? I can't remember. I
I
feel like I
think
read something
he
like that.
won one eventually.
So there was an opening song by a composer named Sasson. I hope I'm
Mhm,
saying, I think I'm saying that right. And from it's from the Carnival of the Animals or Carnival of Animals, and this was the Aquarium. You
mhm.
guys go listen to it. It's one of the most hauntingly beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard, and it's like I had forgotten how many times like I've seen this movie where the music is so overwhelming. Like I get the like music nostalgia where I remember like where I was sitting, what I was eating, who I was sitting next to, kind of thing. And I was like, oh man, I watched this movie like when I was like 9, which I didn't quite understand what was happening. And I obviously watched it since then, but I just remember that being like such a beautiful piece. And then I remember like being like, oh my God, we have this on vinyl. And so I would put that on and like dance around the house and dust or whatever.
So he did win an Oscar. He got one of those like honorary Oscars, which is like
Oh
a fuck we need to
yeah.
give. But he then actually did win one later on for The Hateful Eight because he did some work with Quentin Tarantino. Um,
Okay.
but I think
Huh.
that I don't really remember that score, but you know, like I think that was probably one of those ones where it was like we need to give this guy an Oscar. He has done so much fucking excellent work that
Yes.
we
Does
absolutely
that
need to.
count? Like, are you like Oscar winner, or is it like honorary PhD where like you don't actually get to call yourself
But
doctor?
I mean, you could say the same thing about Scorsese in that way, in that like he won his Oscar for The Departed, which is a good movie, but like it is far from his best movie, and like it was very much one of those ones where it was like we need to give
Yeah.
this guy an Oscar,
Yeah. Yeah. And I do
So
like that one, and I feel it was based on like a Japanese story
yes, it's a really
of these
awesome.
two men that are like fighting, but there's like a wall in between them. It's
I have seen I think it's Hong Kong movie, the original, and it's really
okay.
wonderful, really good movie. They're both good movies, honestly, but it's not, I don't know. He should his shelves should be filled with Oscars, to be honest with you. But
I mean, yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah, I can't agree with you more there. Okay. Um, so Sam Shepard was in this movie,
yes,
who before this movie came out, everyone knew him as a playwright more than an actor. And then they were like, oh my God, he's so hot and like playing a guy who's dying and he's doing it like so well and so peacefully. And,
hmm
he plays, I really enjoyed his character. I enjoyed how honestly like there was so little and I'll get into this a little bit more later, but there's so little dialogue in this movie.
yeah,
And I guess like you can't, maybe that's one of the reasons that you were thinking like, it moves slowly and there's not a lot of like character development, but I feel differently about that, I guess.
hmm
Let's fight. Um but like I feel like there was so much character development
hmm
and like him falling in love and then realizing like something's up with this brother and sister couple and then like oh I'm not dying because I'm in love with her and she's saving my life and to then like oh I'm gonna burn it all down, right? That's like and he said like 4 words, not really but kind of through the whole thing. I thought he was amazing.
yes.
Richard Gere
He
was in this.
also
He
great.
great. I think this was his something happened. He was in another movie that I
hmm
think came out after this, or no, it doesn't matter.
But
Before,
this was his
whatever.
big break. It was not
It
like
was, it
yeah,
was. And they technically it was his first movie, but I think because of the 2-year editing process, it came out after his
okay,
second movie. Whatever, doesn't matter. Um, so Linda Mans plays the little girl, and
hmm
I have to quote our friend Terrence here because he said of Mance, she is, and I'm just going to say, like, she is so striking in this movie. Like, her accent is amazing. Her portrayal of a young migrant worker
hmm
just trying to make sense of the world around her that makes no sense, right? Especially when, like, your brother is like dating someone and he's like, now she's your sister. And she's like, what? Like
Yeah.
she looks tiny. She could have been like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Um, so he said Linda the teenage girl is the heart of the film. So in real life, she was sort of a street child we had discovered in the laundromat.
Wow.
As you do. For the role, she should have been younger, but as soon as I spoke to her, I found in her the maturity of a 40-year-old woman. Non-judgmental and left to her own imagination, she had her own ideas for the role, giving the impression of having actually lived this life instead of having to invent and play within another. At first, it was a bit frustrating to work with her. She couldn't remember lines, couldn't be interrupted, and was difficult to photograph, which, like, I disagree with. I thought, and maybe he means the camera, but I think she's like one of the, was unfortunately one of the most like
With photogenic.
Yes, absolutely, yes. So
Yeah.
despite this, I started to love her and believed in her more than anything else. She transformed the role. I'm glad that she's the narrator. Her personality shines through the film's objectivity. Every time I gave her her new line, she interpreted it in her own way. When she refers to heaven and hell, she says that everyone is bursting into flames. It was her response to the film on the day when she saw the rushes. That comment was included in the final version. Linda said so many things that I despaired being unable to keep them. I feel like I have not been able to grasp a fraction of who she really is.
Oh, nice.
Are you good? No, Andy's gonna sneeze.
Oh, okay.
He
So
does that when he's emotional
that's exactly what it
and
is. Yeah.
he's gonna
Um,
cry, so he sneezes instead.
no, like I say, I find her very kind of like she felt authentically real in a way that, when oftentimes they're trying to go for authentically real and it feels manufactured, and she did not feel like that, and I thought that was really great. Um, I also, and who I thought was Brooke Adams, the
Mhm.
kind of the sister
Sister
wife.
wife, sister
Yeah,
wife,
sister wife.
girlfriend.
Yeah, sister wife girlfriend. Yeah, sister wife girlfriend. I thought at first because I didn't get a good look at her, and then I saw her doing the like whatever they were like stacking the hay bales and things like that. I thought it was Karen Allen for a long time, for like
Right.
a while, and I was like, oh no, it's absolutely not, because she like got that big sort of wide Karen Allen smile and things like that.
Yes.
But an actress I'd never seen before, but I thought, she did a great job here as well. It's just, and somebody was like, well, why? She feels like somebody else who would have had a massive career, but apparently just kind of hit a point where she was like done with Hollywood and kind of moved away and married what do you call him? Monk, the guy that played
Really?
Monk. Yeah, Tony
She married the
Shalhoub.
guy that played like the
Yeah,
guy from Men in Black?
yeah,
That
and
gets his
yes,
head
he is
shot
in Men in
off?
Black. Yeah, 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 yeah. She
What
did.
does he say? Like, do you know how much that fucking hurts? As
Yeah,
he's screwing his head back. Okay. Ha! You
there
know
you
I
go.
love facts, Sandy. That's a good one.
Right. Um,
Um,
yeah.
good. Good. Sorry, I interrupted you.
But she was fantastic, absolutely beautiful, and yeah, I mean, like this is the thing, like everybody's great in it, and everybody's like, gets it, like it's so. And I suspect, this is kind of what I thought going in, and I was like wondering what my reaction would be to it. But it's so like vibes based, like it's
Yes.
like Malick just seems to be all vibes, and hey, I'm
Yes.
totally cool with that.
Yeah.
Um, I am. I've talked a little bit, recently about my attention span struggling just generally, and it's not just with anything in particular or any one thing, but I definitely struggle to keep my attention on this in a lot of ways. But like because it was so like visually arresting. It was like it just drew my eye constantly. But yeah, it definitely was a tough one to stay to keep myself in it.
I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't have that problem with Badlands.
Yes,
I had that problem with this film. And
yes,
this film, like critically, it's I don't know if I mean they're both amazing films, but
yeah.
this I think people remember more. It's kind of I've read somewhere, and we'll see, with the next two movies that we watch that I don't think I've seen yet.
I
This
am.
is his more straight movie,
Yes.
and so we'll see, you know.
I don't think I'm not dreading it, but like the Thin Red Line is twice as long as this film nearly. And I'm a little bit worried about that, because like if it is also similarly as meandering and kind of like plotless. It's gonna be I may have a tough time with it, but I'm also kind of excited to finally see it because I do have friends who I remember seeing it at the time and loved it and like, you know, rave about it still to this day. So we'll see.
I'm also an American, so I need to know like what that means because everyone's driving around with like thin red lines on their flags, on their stickers, on their trucks.
Oh, interesting, really?
Yeah, yeah. So I kind of I get a sense of what it means. We also have blue lines, which is representing the police. Anyways, so uh I'm excited about it. I love war movies that, destroy my heart. So I do. It's weird.
I no, I hear you. Yeah, yeah.
So one thing I loved about this that I also loved about Badlands is again like the dialogue. I couldn't predict the dialogue at all.
Yes.
And it was just like, why are they like they talked like not normal people, but kind of with the whimsy and the dreamlikeness that I loved about Badlands a little bit. So I guess like there's this website that I go to just so I can look at a couple of pages of the screenplay of whatever we're watching because I just, how is it put together? And literally like there's so much dialogue in the screenplay, there's so much direction.
Mm,
He throws it out in this. So it says after a short time, Terrence Malick threw out the script altogether and allowed the actors to find the story as production went on. So I think they were just ad-libbing
okay.
everything,
And like
which, yeah, I'm cool with it.
I have such respect for that truly. Like, and I think that, it's so risky, it's so dangerous as a filmmaker to do that because you may end up with
Yes.
something unwatchable, and this certainly is not that.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of wild. I suppose especially it's like, whenever you have like such a strong foundation in these like stunning cinematography, stunning shots and things like that, you have a bit more leeway in terms of like, the story that you're trying to tell.
Yeah. So I guess there were two cinematographers on this movie. So Nestor
Hmm.
Almendros, sorry, was going blind during production.
Whoa.
So before each shot, he would have his assistants take a picture with a Polaroid camera and then would view it under a high-powered magnifying glass. So like the amount of effort that went into those shots, Andy,
Yeah.
it's like thank God that for Polaroids and magnifying glasses and Nestor, who was amazing. So, and I think I don't know quite what happened because I didn't d dig too far into this, but he was replaced with somebody else. I don't know if it was because he was going blind, but I think what was happening was that you had mentioned that this was largely filmed during the golden hour. So I guess the golden hour is that's a lie. It's a golden 25 minutes.
Oh, really?
So trying to shoot all this stuff in a 25-minute time frame every day, I don't think that the cinematographer could handle that level of unknown.
That's a
And so they
nightmare.
brought somebody else in that could kind of be like, yeah, we're just gonna see what the day brings and work
Yeah.
with whatever happens, which like it's so expensive. This movie only cost $3 million, but that's so expensive to do when like every second is like $3,000 or whatever. I don't know with
Hmm.
inflation, who knows, or what it was then. But he really went off instinct with this, and I think it drove him crazy.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, the thing about this, in terms of looking into his kind of life and things like that, is that he essentially didn't make another film for 20 years after this, walked away from Hollywood altogether, moved to Paris and basically disappeared, and it would be, it's a wonder whether it was this film that kind of did that to him in a lot of ways, whether it was like, both his choices in terms of he was the one who was making the film, but it sounds like it was a tough experience.
It for sure, yeah. Uh, I thought I wrote this down
Hmm. Hmm.
somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I apparently it was not interesting enough, but it would
Okay.
have been interesting to you right now, but never mind. Okay. Um,
Do you have any other
So
bits and pieces, facts and
I
stuff for
sure
us?
do. I sure do, as always. So
Hmm.
there's a big scene where the like, do you guys have locusts?
No, but we might have, but I don't think they're as big a problem as they are for I know farmers in the US.
Yeah, so this is like pre-agricultural department that was like, you need that, like we had the Dust Bowl.
Yeah.
I think this was kind of like around the time that they were like, you can't just grow and grow and grow and keeps taking all the nutrients out of the land, but we would also get locust infestations, which is like millions of bugs that come and eat your crop in like 2 days. Um, so this is shot at the end of the movie, and it's incredible, just like seeing how many bugs are everywhere. Uh, and so the shot of locusts ascending to the sky was shot in reverse with helicopter crew that was throwing peanut shells down, and the
Okay.
actors were walking backwards. Terrence Malick was so exhausted after this experience. Oh, here we go. I did do the thing I meant to do. After this experience of making and completing this film that he retreated to Paris with his girlfriend, it would be 20 years before he made another film. I don't
Mm.
know if it was the peanut shells or um, there's another one. Hold on.
It looked
So
amazing.
I
Like it,
know, right?
because I was like, how did he film? How did he manage to come across a locust
Yeah,
swarm? But no,
yeah,
apparently.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used peanut shells. So, in an interview conducted with the Criterion Collection DVD edition of the film in 2007, Richard Gere speaks of the shot in the film during the wheat fire where they're trying to like they're not trying they're trying to burn the locusts, but like the farmer has realized that something's that the brother and sister are in love, and that becomes a whole thing. Um, but uh there's like there was the wheat fire, there's a tractor that's like monstrous, it's on fire, it's rolling, driven
Yes.
through the flames. According to Gear, director Terrence Malick was the driver.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. uh okay, I like that.
That's nuts.
I know, right? So okay, this one hurt my heart. There are only two 70 millimeter prints of this film in existence.
Mhm.
One is available for exhibition, the other has never been allowed to leave Paramount's vaults. Blown up to 70 millimeter for the re release, these prints were accidentally lost
Oh
when a
God.
Paramount in house memo requested that surplus copies of Days of Thunder from 1990 be destroyed and was misinterpreted.
Wow.
So if this was you that got fired for this mistake, please let us know, and we want to talk to you about like what that was like.
That's it's quite the difference. A Days of Thunder, Days of Heaven is
Duh.
that's
Oh,
we need
yeah,
more careful with that.
I
That's bad.
know. And then okay, I got one more. So there's like it's this beautiful prairie. There's like a little lake sometimes, depending on the time of year. There's a farmhouse that's gorgeous, but you just think of it. They build the facade of the house um, for films, and you just like shoot interiors and the sound stage and exteriors, you know, outside of. So unusually for most films, the main mansion that forms the backdrop to the drama was not a facade, but it was a fully fleshed out house with rooms authentically furnished and decorated.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, just good on you, Terrence Malick.
I suppose that's the benefit of just having one location, like one sort of place you're mostly filming in, so like you can actually afford to do it right, and it did look great.
Yeah, it did. So yeah, so those are the facts that I have.
Love it. Okay.
Oh, wait, no, no, I'm
Okay,
not
one
done.
more.
Okay, I didn't think that the ending was right.
The ending was wild. It just kind of ends.
Yeah, like everyone dies basically,
Yeah.
and they're floating down the river. It's like back to okay, so like in Badlands, we learned that Terrence based a lot of like that story on Huck Finn, um, all the Tom Sawyer, like Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, like the stories of like you're in nature and like hijinks and all that kind of stuff. And it felt like this. They were back on the river. They had a boat this time, but they were living in nature at the very end. And then yeah, they shit goes down. They figured out that, they're murderers and they shoot him. The little girl's response to the him being shot was just like it was so I rewound it actually. I watched it like 3 times because I was like it wasn't overdone. She had it was like she was really shocked. She did such a good
Yeah.
job. She should
No.
have won an Oscar for this.
Yeah.
But I just and then he's dead. She's now being watched by her sister, his ex-girlfriend or whatever, and she's like,
Sure.
you're gonna go to the poor farm, basically, which was a
Hmm.
thing. So they sent her to the poor farm and she escaped, and she's just kind of like walking down the railroad tracks talking to this other girl, and that's it.
Then it just ends.
And
It's
then it
some.
ends. And I was like, that's it?
I
She wasn't like there was no
no real closure at all. Just kind I do kind of like that. I do like the kind of open-ended nature of it, honestly. It really kind of tickled me when it just ended. But yeah, it's kind
You're
of
like, it's
wild.
over.
Yeah, I'd say that like a lot of
Like
people would be.
credits.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that I could see that how that would be very frustrating for a lot of people though.
I mean, it wasn't frustrating, but I just feel like I felt bad for him because like if you edit something for 2 years, right? It's like how do you end this thing that you're obsessed with? And I think maybe he just was just like, I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
And the whole point of this is that like no matter where they are, like they're moving through life.
Hmm.
And so she just keeps doing that.
Yeah. No, I like,
And
that's one of the,
also, yeah,
it's such, I think it's so hard to do an ending. And like, I think about, TV shows, especially successful ones, and them trying to figure out a way to do it successfully. And I think it's impossible to satisfy everyone. And I kind of like that choice of just going, well, this is just where the story ends. There's no like conclusion. There is kind of a conclusion in terms of like the story that kind of drives the movie. But apart from that, it's just like, yep, we're done. See ya. Bye.
yep. Although it was hugely satisfying to see like children smoking cigarettes throughout the whole thing
Yeah.
and just like walking down the train tracks, like talking about, smoking cigarettes and hanging out. And I was like, okay. So one other thing, Linda Mance, she passed away in, it doesn't matter. She made it to 59 years old. She was 4 foot 10 inches.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, she was a tiny, tiny, tiny
Yeah.
woman. She had 3 kids. She had a grandchild. She died of lung cancer and pneumonia. So like, pretty sure she probably got addicted to cigarettes from filming this movie,
Mm.
and
I
that was
think
probably part of
I
her
think
demise.
I think my mom's 4 foot 10 inches. I think that's
Are you
it's
serious?
it's around that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would believe that.
it's about that. I think.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Um. Okay. Shall we get into our final few wee sections?
Yes.
Um. So first of all, to legit the fit, who had the best outfits in the movie. I think it was a tough one for me because I was like kind of like blown away by how good, as like a iterant worker, how good Richard Gere's outfits were. But I think it has to be what did you call him? The dancer?
Oh, the
The,
soft shoe
the
guy?
soft shoe dancer was just like his
He
great
was so
outfit,
good.
great
Yeah.
style, great soft shoe work, just like, it was wonderful.
Yeah,
Great
I would
outfit.
agree. I would agree. So I read that the costume designer for this like used all used clothes to make the clothes
Nice.
because they would stylize things and you would know like someone made this in a studio or whatever. So she's like, nope, you get all the crappy outfits and like they're all dirty because that's where they came from.
Yeah, and
So
as it should
it
be, and I
worked.
think it did feel like lived in a really nice way. Um, okay, so Andy's Animal Acting Award for excellence in animal acting.
This is hard.
Lots
Whew.
of contenders,
Yeah.
but I think ultimately it has to go to the Locusts.
Mm,
Great formation work, guys.
yes.
He's really killing it. Great coordination, great.
The build of suspense, they did a
Oh
good job.
yeah. Truly our finest actors.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
That's a good one.
for me, I think it has to go the Locusts. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I co-signed. I like the started looking pheasants that were in the grasses too.
Yes, they were good too.
When they were like, cutting the wheat, they were like, ah,
Some
burger, or whatever they say.
some good dog work as well, you know,
Oh,
but yeah.
yes, yes.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
But
agreed.
okay, so Beth, as for Days of Heaven, would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I mean, I have revisited this movie so many times.
Mm,
I know that there are parts that are, you know, I just for all of the things that we said that were negative, like the positives are so positive
yes,
that I can't not love it. I will always love this movie. I
sure,
will always revisit this movie. You haven't
sure.
seen this movie, please just check it out. Just like literally give it 5 minutes and you'll be like in. Give it two and you'll be in.
Yeah, I think ultimately for me, I land and remember, like I haven't seen it before, but like I think that it's so unique, and it does my favorite thing. It's just over an hour and a half, which I kind of love. I'm obviously a big fan of that, but like it feels so distinct in terms of I can see why. Despite maybe not setting the box office alight, he was really seen as a kind of rising star for that kind of generation of filmmakers because like his voice is so distinct. And I think from that point of view, if you haven't seen this before, it's definitely worth a look. I mean, it's beautiful looking. Like you just don't see cinematography like this in many other people's work at all. So it's definitely something to see. I think you need to see it once. I don't like, I think, maybe in years to come, whenever my attention span is better, this will be something I revisit. But as for right now, I think I'm going to land and remember.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I'll forgive you for that.
sure. Red years from
Not
now, you'll forgive
really.
me. Yeah.
No, dear diary,
Do
Andy.
you-
Andy said, "Remember, not revisit." No, I get it. I absolutely understand. I
Mhm.
absolutely understand.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Um, but like again, I'm glad I watched it. And like I think that I was like, that kind of going into this, I was like, oh God, am I gonna
Mm,
like, is this gonna be a real trudge for me? Like, but I have absolutely enjoyed the first two movies 100%. I think the next two, as his work gets longer and more ponderous, are gonna be a struggle for me. But
yeah,
I'm still keen to see what they're actually like.
yeah. Me too. Me too. And like, I know nothing about the Tree of Life. Like, I know nothing. I'm not going to look into it. I just want to
No,
be completely surprised. The Thin Red Line, like, I've seen the cast. I feel like one of the guys played like Jesus in
oh, it's Jim Caviezel. Yeah, yeah, it's the guy who has
yeah.
went like super. He's an odd
He's
direction, let's
like, I
say.
love God.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna only make movies about God where I play Jesus or
He
something.
did that one a few years back where he was the like that kind of right-wing movie, Sound of Freedom, that was like enormous, and it was about this guy rescuing children from like child trafficking and things like that. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, one of those
Trala
ones that secretly
la di
was like a
da.
massive hit, but like, it's only a massive hit for, churchgoers,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
And they're like, okay, kids, it's Sunday school. Let's learn about child trafficking.
Yeah,
Uh, all right.
yeah, it happens.
It does.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Would you work as a migrant?
Um, Probably. I mean, like it's still
I think you would
um
enjoy it, actually.
yeah, I probably would enjoy the kind of like travel and things like that. I mean, like I would and seeing different things. I mean, like, I have, I suppose, done the modern version of that work, which is like I've went to Australia and done farm work, so like I've done similar-ish things, and I quite enjoyed it, but like I think it would get old fast, and if I had to depend on it for to live, I would probably
Yeah,
get quite
yeah.
annoyed with it quite quickly.
And to not have like a yeah, I don't know. I was just curious. I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's like if you don't have a choice and you just do what you have to do, then you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're my brother.
Yeah.
I'll marry the farm owner
Yeah.
and get a dog.
Weird. Weird,
Anyways,
weird, weird.
weird, 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 weird. Okay. So next movie that's up is Tree of Life.
No, no, no. Next movie
No,
is The Thin Red Line.
then Red Line. Okay,
And
and then
then we're
after
gonna
that, Tree of Life. So
after that, yeah.
please, if you want to watch along,
Hmm.
and send us any, just, whatever. We love hearing your thoughts and feelings about everything that
Yeah, if
we're
you got
doing.
like, a
So,
spare 3 hours kicking around, stick on with that red line. See if you get on with it.
you're here listening. You could do worse and you could do better.
Right, exactly. Multitasking. Okay. So, Beth, what has been bringing you joy this week?
Uh, um,
Yeah.
so I started reading a paper book.
Okay. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So and I've carved out, it's hard. It's
It
hard.
is.
It's really hard. I want to be like my middle school, high school self where I would like, you know, get my grated cheese bowl and
Hmm.
like my apple juice boxes and just like go and disappear for like 4 hours into
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
the nether world of whatever book. So I've carved out certain things where I know I can just sit and read. And some of them are like Harper's and dance class. And so I sit in the hall for like 45 minutes and I
I like
force
it.
myself. It's so good. So our top fan recommended a book called Easy Riders and Raging
Yep.
Bulls. And it's all about like Hollywood gossip
Hmm.
in like the 60s. It's fascinating. There's like passages where I'm like, God damn it, I don't have a pen because I need to underline this quote or this thing made so much sense. Um, Also, um, I don't know if it's because we changed our topic and picked something that people are, more aligned with, but I've had just some friends reach out and just say, like, I'm listening, I love it.
Nice.
Uh, Apparently I say like too much.
Yeah, I think we both do. That's fine.
So I was like, Marianne, we're both Valley girls. You can't change us.
Yes, fair.
And, AI can edit out the likes, but like we don't do that shit.
I don't know if like a lot of you won't see the video side of things, but Beth and I both have our hair out and are like curling it with one finger as we talk as well, right? That's very like
And then after this, I'm going to the
yeah.
mall
And we are chewing gum and we've got like big cups of drink.
of
I don't
drink,
know.
caramel macchiatos
There we go. There we go. Thank you.
or matcha.
Or pumpkin spice latte at a certain time of year as well.
That's right.
Okay. So you did Joy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's my
said paper
joy.
book. You did. So what's
But
been bringing me joy is just yoga again. Like I've been able to like indulge my own practice a little bit more recently, which has been really nice because I think I had like dropped out of it. My friend's studio has reopened in a new place, and it's been lovely kind of getting back to it and just d you know, seeing it from the different angle that I normally do, which is from which is work. So
yeah,
it's been really lovely. So yeah,
good for you. Good for
yeah,
you. I've gotten back into it because if I go to a class, someone will tell me what to do, and I won't be like, I just want to do 5 minutes.
yeah,
If I lay on my mat and think about it, that's just the same thing. It's not.
yes,
So I'm glad that like, and it is a personal thing.
yes.
And when you turn it into a job, then yeah, it's like that's always the fear is like you'll lose the love of it. So no one ever pay us for this podcast because then it'll feel like work. Just kidding. Pay us for this podcast. Good. And that makes me happy.
Yeah.
That
See?
brings me joy. That brings me your joy brings me
Hooray!
joy.
Joy, joy, joy,
Joy,
joy. Okay.
joy
So
in my heart.
before we get to our last our goodbyes, at least anyway, Beth, could you let everybody know where they can find us?
You can find us at movietestofTime.com. We locked that shit down.
Mm-hmm.
I think I paid like $5 for that
Hell yeah.
URL. Ha ha!
Yeah.
And I'll charge someone else 7,000,
Yeah.
$100,000 to take it over. But so yeah, so you find us there. I think I've updated everything. You can still access our old Bendy
Mm-hmm.
podcast episodes from the website. I've linked to it so you can get still, if you want to hear about sweets or um, folklore in both of our countries, that's an
Mm-hmm.
option also. But yeah, we're all over the place as Movie Test of Time. Find
Yeah.
us,
Love it.
subscribe, like and subscribe.
And like and subscribe. So then, folks, we've reached the end of this week's episode. And yeah, we just like to wish you a fond goodbye and see you next time.
See you next time. Send us movie ideas. And
Please.
also, if you have like things that brought you joy this week, I had someone that was like, Miller's Crossing
Yeah,
brought me joy. And I was like, that is epic and awesome. So if you have any joy you would like to share, please just
please do. Yeah,
shoot us a message.
don't give us the hi hat. Just don't do that.
No,
Okay.
don't do
Please don't.
that.
Okay. All right.
Don't give us the.
We love you. Bye.
We love you. Bye, 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 bye.